Have you heard of the Maryland Black Bass Conservation Fund? Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the vlog. If you're new, my name is Steve Chapman. There are passionate anglers about this sport and hobby, and then there's anglers that put their money where their mouth is. Ron Baker from Maryland is one of those anglers. He is a serious black bass enthusiast. He is someone who's committed to support conservation efforts in Maryland and restricting and making the fishery drastically better for our future. Now, Ron doesn't want the spotlight. He wants to put the spotlight on this conservation fund that started a couple years ago. And there's a lot of anglers or Maryland anglers that love the restocking phase because there are significant improvements that have happened since this fund was started. And the anglers who don't like what they're doing, no offense, need to learn to just keep quiet. Your opinion doesn't matter. You want to use the resource, but you don't want to help create it or make it better. You just want to go catch fish and eat. I don't agree with that. Now, currently, a small portion of every angler's license goes towards conservation funds and other things that the Maryland DNR are putting out. But Maryland anglers can go on when they're purchasing their license and add money directly to the Black Bass Conservation Fund. And here's why they should do it. Now, the fund started in 2024 by Governor Wes Moore, and the results that they're having are very significant. And recently they had a tournament last year where 5 fish weighed, winning weight was 10 pounds. Since the restocking, adding forage fish, doing what the DNR is doing and doing it right, that 5 fish went 17 pounds in a year. Now, we have to be honest. There could be all sorts of things that either make or break those weights. But just seeing that significant jump, and even though, again, could be all sorts of weather, all sorts of stuff, it shows what they're doing is right. And what the Maryland DNR is doing is they are using this money to buy bead filters. What is that? Well, bead filters water in that will circulate and make those fish that they're trying to stock at the hatcheries grow. And they put in 5,200 fish that were in that 4 to 7 inch range. Those fish, some people say, they're going to be bait. The mortality rate is going to happen, but some of those fish do survive. And I had the opportunity to talk to Ryan, who's with the Maryland DNR. Absolutely fantastic person. I need to just say, there's times when I reach out to people and it takes time. Ryan and I think Joseph got back to me instantly and insanely early in the morning. So I appreciate that. And having that respect, even though they have no clue who I am, and talking to me, I really do appreciate it. So thank you, Ryan. Now, there is hopes that maybe they can do something like a bass stamp or something like the trout stamp that they have. And all the money that anglers donate in that extra area where it says, do you want to donate extra to the Black Bass Conservation Fund, goes directly to them. And anglers that want to donate can donate as much as they want. It is not tax deductible. But anglers like Ron have donated significant amount of money to help buy that first bead filter. And it not only helps with buying the stuff they want, it helps upgrade habitat, it helps upgrade hatcheries, it helps everything that's going on in Maryland to make that black bass fishery better. And with Major League Fishing and bass going up there and fishing, it's something that not only I hope that anglers will get behind, but I hope the organizations will get behind too, because they're not looking for hundreds of thousands of dollars. They're looking for $5,000 or $10,000 every year. And while that's still a lot of money, in the grand scheme of things, it isn't a lot of money. If it helps make the fishery better for us, for everyone that's out there fishing and the future, it's something that anglers need to get behind, and the organizations. And they have an abundance of fish. And when I asked Ryan, why do they need to do things like this? And he told me because it's a tidal flow fishery, that the bottom or the seafloor doesn't really allow bass to spawn properly. So by introducing more males, they might be able to find those females and spawn. And like I said, they want to raise $5,000 or $10,000 a year. They want to be able to buy bead filters. They want to do conservation equipment. They want to be able to track the fish mortality. They want to make bigger stock instead of the 4 to 6 to 7 inch fish that they released. They want to get into that 5 to 8 inch bass. So this money helps them get to that level. And putting those 5 to 8 inch fish is a serious goal. And the fish mortality won't be as bad either. And their tidal rivers have an incredible food source. But the food source is so good and diverse, and the spawning habitat is bad, so these bass aren't spawning. They can't find the hard bottom or the bottom that they're looking for to create beds. And they're going to start tagging some fish this year to see what the mortality rate is, how big they get, doing all the extra work that comes with this Black Bass Conservation Fund. And the numbers are increasing. The numbers of fish caught, the numbers of weight. They're finding this in the data. They're finding this from anglers that are calling in and talking to them. So what they've done in the short period of 2 years is really enhancing the fishing up in Maryland. And to be real, Ron reached out to me and asked me, would I be interested in doing this video? Could someone pay me to do this video? And I said, no. If this is helping the sport and the hobby, even though I live in Florida, and it's helping it in Maryland or someplace else, I want to bring awareness to what's going on. And if you're a Maryland angler, or you're going to Maryland, or you just want to donate to this conservation fund, I'll put a link in the description. And if you want to do it, please do. But this is helping out the sport. And I give Ron a lot of credit for this. A lot of credit. And Ryan and Joseph, you guys are awesome too. But let's try to bring more awareness to this fund for all those anglers in Maryland that might not even know that it even exists. And let's push forward and try to help the fishery and the future of the fishery in some place we might not be a part of, but something that is making the right decision and doing things right. And thank you. Thank you, Ron, Ryan, Joseph. Y'all are awesome. Would you donate to this fund if it was in your state? How important is it to give back and to be conservation minded? Should the organizations just chalk up? We're coming to your place. Why not just give $5,000 MLF and Bassmaster? Why not then cover the whole thing? They're coming up there and using the resource. How about professional anglers chipping in? They know they're going to go to Maryland too. They know the Potomac River is going to be part of the fishing tournament series. Should we do more? That's the question I ask you. So comment below and tell me what you think. Thanks to all new subscribers and members and everyone who's interactive on the channel. I really, really appreciate it. I am humbled by your support, and you guys aren't just friends, you're family. So thank you. But if you're not a subscriber, click that like, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you know when the next video drops. Remember, take a kid fishing, support conservation, tight lines cheers, and get your fish on.